or object oriented programming. So it's just a way of making your code fast, readable, so it can be able to be easy to edit, able for you to add more function to it. So one of the best function of OOP is that it helps keep your code right. That is, it makes you not repeat yourself over and over again. So you don't have to write a particular block of code more than once. So now we said we had what we call the classes. So classes is just like the family. Why objects are those are derived from what, the particular family. So we have we use the car as an example. So car comes with different uh, uh, properties and functions. So anyone who wants to make a car will have to do what? Use the same property. The only difference is that you use the same properties and functions that the car always have. The only thing that he's going to change there is what? The name. So now let's go back to what we were writing before. So
Sir, I cannot see your screen.
ah
I cannot see your screen.
okay, I should explain it again.
No, I cannot see your screen. Your
Oh, okay,
screen is
okay,
not
okay,
showing
okay,
up.
okay. Sorry. Let me. Okay. Okay. So now, now we are going to talk more about the class. Then we start adding object to it. So you say whenever you want to create a class, we start with what? We use the what? The class keyword to create a class. So you write class, then you can call the name of that your class. So let's say the name of your class is person. Person is the name of your class. Then you have what? Pass your curly braces. So instead of this class person, now we are going to do what? Create it's divided into two. We have the properties and we have what? The method. So we have the properties and we have the method. Now before we get into that, I will also again repeat what the class does. So the class is just like a family. Then objects are derived from it. So object can come and use it. Now for example, we are creating a just, let's say it's a framework. Then whoever want to use that framework will use the same properties and method that is inside of that framework to do what? Create whatever they want. So now we have person. Now what a person has is, so let's start by properties. Like I said, is divided into two. We have what? The properties. So let me call this properties. Properties. So now one of the properties a person can have is let's say public. Now I'll be using this public. This is called an access modifier, but I'll just later we're going to talk about what this public really means. So now one of the property we will have here we are going to talk about is a person must have what? A full name. Okay, let's say first name. First name. So a person have first name, so we're going to put equals to, so we need to, it's a property, so we need to pass the dollar sign there. So person has full name, so we're not assigning anything inside of that full name. So a person will have what? First name. The person will also have a last name too. So let's just leave that. So another thing again a person can have is age. So age. So another thing a person can have is profession, the other stuff, but let's just use these three to define a person. So there are a lot of things that you can use a standard person can have. So but this one is just the normal property we are going to use. let me put race as part of it. I'll put gender, public, variable, gender. Let me also put race. Oh, I did this race. So I have to put so even though the rest is not really necessary actually. So now let's go straight to putting what the next one we have. Like we say, we have what the properties. Now we also have the next thing is we have the method. I'll call it methods. So it's divided into two: properties and method. Now, so we say that these properties can be described as, you can call it a variable in regular PHP, normal PHP we call it the variable. You can call it variable. So for the method also, it's just the same thing as calling function for normal PHP. So for your, now why I'm calling it regular PHP, I'm saying regular PHP and different, because whenever you're writing regular PHP, you write it is different from writing this OOP. So the structure is always different. So now next thing now we're going to do is, now we want to create what a method. So it's just the same as saying we want to create a function. So now let's say a function that is going to do what. So let's say function. So public function. So let's say full name. So full name. So now we have this method full name. So the job of this method, you know the method, what the method does is it performs a particular task. It's there to perform a task. This is just like the property is just like a feature, why the method perform tasks. So now this full name, what we want this full name to be is, it should be a method that does what, gives us the full name of what the particular individual. So how does it, how will he give us the full name? So we're going to say we want, so we're going to pass what, pass two arguments. So this pass argument will be argument that the user is going to put. So the one that is coming from outside, not this one. I'm referring to something coming from outside. So let's say, let me call it out variable, or let's call it in, okay, input full name, trying to make it more easy to understand. Input in first name, comma, and input last name, right? So this coming from outside, so not what we have here. So what we want to say is, this thing that is coming from outside, we want to do what? So whenever this that is coming outside comes in, we want it to be assigned to what? This place here, to this place. So Control C, so make sure you always close it. So this is coming, we want to assign it to our So let me call it set full name. Let me just call it set full name. So, or you can call it set name. So okay, let me just make it very simple. So what we are doing here is we are trying to just set the name, not that we are trying to even, so we're just trying to set the name. So here we're going to say so now we want to refer to this particular class, now this particular property. So to refer to this particular property, what we do, what we have to call what the owner of the property, which is this person. So the person, so instead of us writing person then call the name of this, how we need to write it is, right, we are going to do what, use the what, this keyword. So we are going to use this keyword. So this keyword, then you put as an arrow. So this keyword what represent what, the owner of this, which is what, this person that is here. So we are saying this person. So now since the dollar sign is already here, we don't really need to pass a dollar sign to what, to the property, to this property anymore. So all we just need to do is just write it without the dollar sign here. So v, so this is it. So what we have done is that this first name that's coming in, we are doing what, we have assigned it to what, to enter here. So same thing with the last name. So we are going to do that with the last. We're going to say this our key last name equals to, so this is it. So now what we just did now is that we have created a method that does what, assign value into what, this first name and the last name. So here now we are going to create another method. So we're going to say public, so public function. So now this one here is to draw what, get us get the full name for us. So it's to get full name. So it's to get full name. So it's to get the full name. So now how do we get the full name? We're going to use what, the return keyword. So what the return keyword is going to return for us is so it's going to return us this. See, v. So we want to bring the full name. We're going to concatenate, put a concatenation sign there. So put double quote space double, then the last name, so this is returning us what, the full name. So we are putting concatenation, so when it returns the full name, there should be space in between it. So remember that PHP is not designed, that's why we're trying to make it so it looks a little bit nice. So you're going to pass the return keyword. You know you have to pass the return, or you can just assign it into what, a variable called final. So you can call it variable final, just like your and normal function. So and return that final, or you can just pass the return right here immediately. So anyone that works for you. So now let's use it now. Let's say the first person comes in. So first person comes in. So the first person comes in, and what we just did now is what, we have just assigned what, this class to what, the first person. So now this first person is what, the first object. Now the thing about this thing is that this first person is going to, he has taken everything that is inside of here, everything that this have. So first person comes in. So now the first person is so now let's say, now we're going to say first person plus sign person. So our key. So now what we want to get is what, that method. So we want to get what, the set name method. So I will set the name for the first person, the first person's name, full name. So let's set the person's full name. So we're going to say set name. So the set name method, and we need to pass what. So the first thing is the person's first name, and the other one is going to be second name. So let's see, the person's first name is what? John, and the last name is comma, and the last name is Mark. So we have just set automatically this name will have entered here and has entered here, and it's already assigned to this place. So if you want to print it out, to get this for now, let's trigger this method to do what? Output us this value that we just did. So we're going to say echo this method, echo the get full name method. So get full name parenthesis. So now we are going to pass, since it's an object, we need to pass what? The person. So person 1. So we need to trigger who we want it to get. So like this. So I'm going to close it. So we need to call we need to, because other object can still use it, so we need to trigger it for the person that we are referring to. So we mean for what? The first person. So when we refresh, it's going to return us what? The first person's name. Now let's bring another second person. So now second person comes in. So second person, so person 2 comes in to take what? The same class. So this same person 2, so let's say this same person 2 comes in and fill his name Jane Doe. So if I want to get Jane Doe, all I just need to do is what? Echo what? So echo person 2 full name. So when I refresh, so let's put the break in between it. So let's echo break, echo the BR tag. So refresh. So this is it. So you can do it for more than one person. You can put as many people as you want. You can even set, so let's say I want to set person 3. So let me even do it for person 4, person 5. Person 3 comes in and take it. So this person 3's name is Ada Smith. So another person 4 comes in. So you see that now more than one, anybody that comes in now, the same class now can be used for more than as many people as you want. So this one is, and so now if I want to get, if I choose, I can still, okay, let me separate this. So echo break, so this one is for person. So to get us the data for person 3, get us also the data for person 4. So you see that now more than 4 people has what? Use the same class. So you see how it minimizes. If you are trying to do this same thing using the normal PHP, you have to write a whole lot of code. So now if I want to add value for this particular for add more functions again for this method for these people. All I just need to do is what, come to the class. Anything you change or anything you remove will do what, affect all the whole persons. If you add more method, it is added to everybody. If you remove method, it is removed from everyone. So okay, let's add more methods. So we already have the age. So let's add more method for the get age. So we're going to say public function. So public function. So let's say so set age. So let me not make it okay. So since we want their age to vary, so what we're going to do is I'm going to try to perform a little bit logic inside of it. So I'm going to say for each person we just give what the person is just going to give me is their birth year. So everyone will just give me birth year. So that's all I need to give me the person's age. So yeah, so I'm going to do 2024 minus the person birth year will give us what, whatever the person has, give us the person age. So I can still return I can return it here if I want. I can return it from here if I want. So let me also use this set gender also. So gender that is coming from outside is being passed in here. It's going to pass in and be assigned here. So we can do for age, but let's create a method that do what, returns, get us this value. So let's create a method. So public, so get age, right? So get age method. So this one here is just to return us what, the age. So also for okay, to say to race. So let me also add this. So this to set the race if the person passes the race. So it's been assigned to our race. Now let's create another method that returns race. So they get race. So this is to get us the race, return the race. So also for the gender. So public function get, so get gender. So we get gender. So passing that, passing curly braces. So say return this gender, right? So now any of this person now can do what, just return. See, all these things I just write, all this code I just added new now, any of them can just do what, passing whatever they all have it now. They all have it. If person 2 can just say I want to return my what, age. So you want to return age, because you get, so person 2 can just say okay. So let's do it here. This way I'm supposed to do it. So let me get person's 2 age. So let me do it like this. So so persons 2 want to get what, their age. So get age. So what he needs to pass here is what, the birth year. So maybe the person is born in 1905. So when you refresh, oh sorry, I have not passed the set age, so I need to set the age for person 2. So before this get age, so here I'm going to set the age. So here for setting it, so setting age, so the set age method where I'll pass that's 1905, so 1905. So the get age is supposed to just output the value. The set age is to put the value. So refresh. So this is it. So that person is 119-year-old. So that is it. Now what we just have here now is what we just created class. Now you see, you may be looking at this, you may be saying the code still look very big. It has not done the job that you were expecting it to do. You were expecting it to do what? Minimize the code for you. So you were expecting to see a code where you no longer have to write this much lines of code. So there are keywords. There are other ways to do it. There are keywords that we use in minimizing it. Another thing we have is what? The constructor and the destructors. So we don't really need to be writing all this get age and set age method as long as we have been writing it. So now let's use a set age. So we have what we call the constructor. So if you create a constructor function, PHP will automatically call the function when you create the object in a class. So now to create a constructor, we use what? Double underscore. So this is an underscore. So okay. So instead of here, now let's try to use the constructor and the destructor for this code. You see how simple it will make it. So let's just trace back where this could start from. So this is okay. So now let me just start by writing there. So where we're going to write the constructor is inside of the code. Okay, now what I'll do is I'm going to create a different class. So I'll create person, so let me call it okay. So it's the same class I'm trying to create, but so let me put the class keyword there. So I'm going to call it person, so person X, so person X. So to minimize it, so person X. So this one here is now a way to make the code more so to make it more easier. So let me just use it like this. So person X. Now instead of here, now I'm going to use what? The constructor. So what we're going to do now is we're going to use the constructor. So all we still need this property that we had here. So we still need it. So I'm going to copy the property, paste it here. So this is just a way of minimizing the code. So we are going to just say public function. So public function. So now we're going to do underscore, double underscore, construct. So instead of this construct, so now it comes with this curly braces. So now instead of this place, now what we are going to do here is now we are going to pass in everything we are trying to assign. Now this whatever is going to be coming from the outside. So like we have our first year. So let me come here. So this is the input. So I'm just going to copy this, Control C, and paste it inside this constructor. Ctrl V, comma, I'll go again, copy the copy the bet here, Ctrl C, and paste it here, and also go back again, copy the copy the race, Ctrl C, and paste it here, comma. So next thing we're going to copy again is the gender. So copy the gender and do what? Paste it here. So you see that we're now using just one method for assigning value inside of it. So all I just need to do now again is I will just copy this, Ctrl C, and paste it inside of the constructor, and I also come here. So for the age, copy this, so in real actually you don't really, I'm just trying to show you the difference, so you don't really need to go and write all those ones we've been writing at the top. So you don't really need this one anymore. So I'm going to copy. So what I'll do is okay. So right. So what I'm going to do again is I'm going to copy this for the race, and I'm going to paste it here also. So for the gender, which is the next one, so copy this and go down and paste it. So what I just did now is I have just eliminated almost half of my code, meaning this is gone, don't need it again. This is gone, same thing with this, same thing with this, same with this also. So same with this, you see I've eliminated all the almost all half of the code. So also I have also eliminated this. Anyway, let me just leave it. So I've eliminated almost half of this stuff I'm supposed to write here. So now next thing we have is what? The destructor. Now how to what? Output it. So we have what? The destructor. So destructor also use what? So a destructor is called when the object is destruct and the script is stopped or exited. So if you create a destructor function, the PHP will automatically call this function at the end of the script. So just like the constructor, the destructor is written with the underscore. So I'm going to say double underscore destruct. So you don't really need to pass anything inside of there, just your curly braces or public function. I'll put the public function. This is it. So now let's go and eliminate almost half of the code again. So all this stuff I'm going to grab all this, okay. I'm going to grab this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in a sentence to say. So here I'm going to write So now let's use the template literal to double put. So I'm going to say my names are, so paste this. Okay, I don't even really need the final here anymore, so the final is gone. So I don't need this also, just space. So since we're inside of the template literal, so all I just need is just space. So I can write whatever. So my names are, so I can, so my names are this, and so so to age, let me grab the age. So I am, so I am this year old, so so say I'm a, so this gender, let me just go ahead and be writing it. So this gender, so I'm this gender, so you say whatever gender it is, and my race is, so my race is this, so my race is this race. So I'm going to close it here. So since you know you're writing, so put my full stop there. So always remember where your double full stop. So this is where my double full stops. I'm going to put my semicolon. Always make sure you close it. So I think I've used almost everything that I created. So you see how within just this few line of code I have simplified everything that I was writing here. Sorry. So I'll just simplify everything I have been writing at this top. So all these long lines of code, including these ones, I've also simplified it. So now it comes down for anybody who want to use it now. So now what I'll do is, so I'm done with the class. So what I'll do is I'll now come here, let me just so I'm just going to copy this. So this is all I need. I will no longer need this second one. So I will just comment on it. I no longer need this. So I'll just need this, and I'll also want to see. So this is what I need. Control V. So now here our class is what? Person X. So this like an advanced one. So I'm going to change this to what? Person X, noun, person. So I'm assigning person X, same thing with this person X. Now when it comes to this place, now I no longer have a set name method any longer, but I do have the constructor. So I'm going to pass in what? The constructor keyword, so which is, so main, So yeah, so I think I actually don't really need this. So I don't really need this. So all I just need to do is copy this to C, paste it here. So I'm going to get rid of this. So that's the beauty of the constructor. So copy this. Now let me keep adding more. So based on the constructor first name, last name, then birth year. So next thing we're going to pass here is birth year. I'm going to put 1990, comma, then for race I'm going to put, let me just go with, let me just put black there, even though black is not a race. So I'm just not trying to make it accurate. So birth year, then race and gender. So I'm going to put male for the first person, so male. So you see the error, the underlying error that was there is gone. If you didn't put a complete one, it will throw you an error. So same thing with this other person, but now you see I no longer need all this stuff. So but I will need this name. Let me just Ctrl C, pass it inside of here. So get rid of all this stuff, don't need it any longer. So let me add for the birth year. So let's say this one is in 205, comma, and let me go with the regular white. Now you will say it's Caucasian, but I'm just be going with this white. And let me put this one is female. So now next thing again I'm going to write here is, let me just fill in for everyone. So this one is, so let me put (2012) black, female. So same thing for this last person. So get rid of this. So this one and snow. To see, put it here. So I don't really need this. So next thing I'm going to do, comma. So this one I'm going to put 200, comma. So let me just go with white. So female. Alright, so you see that I just minimized all the whole code I'm writing with just this. Look at it now, all my class, all this whole long line of code I was writing here. What is this? So all this, so let me go back, start from the beginning of the code. So all this long line of code I have been writing, all this down to this point where I commented, I have minimized it to just this. So you see how the object keep getting better. The more you write it, you find that it minimizes the code. Now let's try to output this. So let's try to output this when I refresh. So I have an error. Let me see, where do I have an error? 651, line 651. 9650. Okay, I've not commented on these errors, so I need to comment on all this stuff. Let me just comment on everything. So let me comment on everything here. Comment on them. Comment on this also. All right, now let's try this again. Oh, I have not echoed it here, so let's echo it, or let's put the return. I think I'm just going to say return. Just say echo, so it should echo it once. So refresh. So you see it, almost everybody's output. All right, so you can see the way the thing just outputted it, all of them. So even though he outputted it in descending order. So you see the way the code run. So the reason why you're seeing it in descending order is because it will first of all output what the first thing that it sees, which is this first one. This is the first one, so you output it, then output this. So in a descending order, so it's printing them based on the way it appeared. So this is just the way we use the destruct. So what the construct and the destruct comes in inside of the role they play inside of our OOP is that they minimize the amount of code that we use. They minimize the amount of code that we use whenever we are trying to perform a particular logic. So I'm just going to send this to you, so you go through it. If you have any question, but anyway, do you have any question concerning this? So anyway, if you have any question, you can just you can send it, post it inside of the group. So I'm just going to copy this from the start. Okay. Okay, so from here down, so I'm going to paste it for you. So if you have any question, you can just text it. So if you have any question, you can just text it. So see you in our next lecture.
Okay, sir.